Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a project to compare tunes for similarity, and we're about to start a new transformation, counting and filtering. Now, let's see. Sorry. We put the basics in place, and I don't know, I'm having some weird kind of error. I don't think it shows when I'm running. All right, we put a bare minimum thing in place. There's no buttons. It doesn't do anything. It's just got some random text there, and the stage can be added or removed. Okay. Now, what we're getting is this, like Apple Metal Functions List. Who knows what that is? I haven't rebooted my system. I don't think. But let me try and run the tests. Made me spend 15 minutes debugging this, and yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's apparently not finding practically anything. Undefined symbols. Okay. That measure rhythm, that looks like the right things. Why they're undefined when I test and not when I build. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Show build folder. Now I was tracking this down yesterday. Like, what happens if I wonder if I delete that whole thing. What are all these? I mean, that's probably genned up devices. Oh, sorry, it's not visible over here, is it? 18 megabytes of stuff. Okay, so these are apparently the simulators. Let's find that build folder again. I'm thinking I can just delete that whole folder. Show build folder. TuneSim-CD. Now, how did I get to Core Simulator from that? Xcode. I got a lot of logs. It was device something. Derived data. Okay, I'm gonna quit this. This is TuneSim. I'm gonna. What if I just put this in the trash? Okay. Restart. Now we're mostly. Well, no, I want to get into the back end of this thing today. P-combo, EG tests, both there. Let's do a clean build folder. We'll run. I don't know where I can see build output. Okay, that's apparently there. Now, errors, no problems. Okay. Let's quit this. Run the unit tests. Oh no, I've got that F-lock failed to lock. And developer library course simulator. Today at 12:05. Well, that's probably var folders DX. I don't know. No, doesn't seem to be here. Let's look for this. Search the web. Search the web. I don't know. Okay. What can I do? I don't know if I reboot, if it's going to change anything. Let's open a different project. Reset data for views. Good. Let's try one of these. Okay. This is... Oh. I was going to say it's a Paul Hudson project, but it doesn't have tests in it. Something with tests. This might... I was having a lot of problems with Xcode the other day, though, so... Data and views, that's nothing. Sort tables is so old for us at this point, I'm hesitant to do it. We had EG test, yeah, let's run the tests. Now that seems to be starting up okay, and that's good. Okay. Well, I will... We've turned Xcode off and on, so I'm going to turn my system off and on, and I will be right back, I guess. It'll take me a few minutes to do a reboot, but I think that's what's going to take. Hi, I'm back. I had to restart the system, and then it turned out that messed up my mic connection, so I threw out the last half of the broadcast, and I'm just going to do a little summary of what we did. Okay, so the thing to solving that problem we had with the builds, I don't know why it arose, but I had a lot of tests marked as being eligible for either test macOS or test shared tests. I went through and made every test be shared tests only because the build problems were in macOS, I think, one of these two. that we don't even need. Okay, so we now have a shared test plan that only has those files, and they are only in the shared area. If I had Mac OS or iOS specific tests, I'd put them in their separate thing, but we don't have any at this point. Okay, so we're gonna move away from that. All right, the next thing we did was focused on the actual filtering process. So we have our stage. We added a couple of fields, one to hold the selected metadata attribute, title, part, ID, and so on, and the other to hold the text we want to filter by. All right, and then the key method is transform. If we're not active, we just return the packet we got. It's sort of an empty filter. It would be better if it weren't even called, but I don't know if that's a bigger change. If you've got no filter text, we put a warning in that says filter not applied. I don't know. It may not be necessary, but if you have this, it'll show up in your metadata as you look at it. The final stages, the sync stages that actually use the packets, they will reflect the metadata, so you'll get a warning about it. I think that's okay. All right, and then the filtering itself says, okay, take the tunes, filter them. So if this is true, then we accept it. Okay, we're going to take the selected field, which goes to the metadata section of the tune and find, say, the title. If that field is empty, that means there was none specified, and we're going to say that doesn't disqualify you. Okay, so if it's empty, it's fine, return true. Otherwise, if it contains the filter text, return true from that. And when we return the true here, that says keep that tune in the list. All right, and if it came back false, it says drop it from the list. The end result is we have result tunes with the acceptable tunes. We build a new packet based on the old one and including the result tunes. And if we succeeded here, then we put a filter message in the metadata, the process metadata, that says you filtered by selected field containing selected filter text. Okay, and from a testing perspective, this works. We ran the app at the end of the day or at the end of the session, and it didn't work. So I don't know if the packet, if this transformation is not even being called. There's some weirdness in how we set up our pipelines, and I suspect that's the problem. All right, the next thing we did, or well, actually the first thing we did was the view for things. So I started from the view so we could kind of drive what we needed in the stage. All right, and the core of this is, well, let's show it. There's a picker where you select the field, which the stage owns, and that's this part, the title. It could be title, parts ID, whatever else. Inside that, it's got the metadata descriptors. This is all kind of awkward. I think we want to do something about this before we call this done. But I don't like doing the work in here, and building an array out of a bunch of keys that I fetched and sorted is kind of me doing the work. At any rate, all right. And then the second thing is it contains, we have the text for the filter text. So we're just matching if the title contains whatever that thing is, that's where those come from. Now, the way we got here was a little indirect. At one point, I thought I could set the thing up to view every title, say, and even counts and so on. I'd like it to have everything. But I realized we don't really have access to that. This really is intended to be a pure transformation, and this is enough information for the filtering. Now the statistic, we have a statistics page. I think that's the right place for this stuff. So we'll eventually provide a selector like this over there. Maybe just the selector field. We don't want to filter there, but just given the titles of these tunes, display them. And if they've filtered, then they won't be in that list, and that'll be fine. And we can turn them into a set and count them and all the other things we want to do. So I think we're set up okay, knowing how to do it, but we'll put off the actual doing in favor of getting this filtering done. And like I said, we'll pick up with why doesn't the filtering actually work in production side, which is a little unfortunate, but we'll see what we got to do for that. All right, thanks for joining today, and catch you in the future. Bye bye.